What is going on, all you Pokemon collecting maniacs out there? This is Ryan, the PikiPikaPapa, and tonight we are finally going to talk about Scarlet and Violet booster boxes. Yes, it is true, I am not buying them, but I owe you guys a reason why. It's not enough to say, hey, this is what I'm doing, this is what I'm not doing. I would never tell you what you should or shouldn't do, but I certainly owe you a reason why as to what I have decided to do. Now, it has been a while since I've shot a video in a hotel room, but I am pumped. I have been on 4 planes in the last 36 hours. I've been in 3 different time zones. But if you think that's going to stop PikiPikaPapa from bringing you content, you are absolutely crazy. With that being said, if you find value in this, hey, hit the subscribe button, give us a thumbs up, drop a comment down below. If you're already a subscriber, give me a thumbs up and drop a comment. We're trying to grow this channel. We just celebrated 500 subscribers. We're knocking on the door of 600. You saw that we gave away 2 boxes in celebration of 500. I'm going to do something crazy for 1,000. I don't know what yet, but it is going to be something epic, I guarantee it. So, why am I not buying Scarlet and Violet booster boxes? Let's get into that right now. So here's the thing, listen. The reality is capital resources are always limited, okay? There's only so much money in the bank. There's only so much in the till. Those paychecks come every 2 weeks. But hey, I got a wife. I got 2 kids. That's my absolute world. I've got a mortgage. I've got bills just like everybody else. There's only so much money that I can spend. And so I have to make sure that when I decide to pull the trigger on buying one Pokemon asset, I don't feel like there's other areas for me to spend that money better, or for maybe either fulfill my personal collection where I find personal joy, or put investment money into it where I feel like there's a lot of upside. The reality is I had the opportunity to buy 6 of these Scarlet and Violet booster boxes for $100 each not long ago, and it was $100 delivered, right? Like that includes tax, shipping, everything. $600, 6 boxes, signed, sealed, delivered. And I really spent a lot of time debating if I should do that or not. That's a great price. MSRP is going to be up to $165. Like, even it comes out of the gate at $125. Like, that's an intrinsic value right there. That's a 25% gain on your money overnight. But I would have had to have tied up $600 a couple of weeks ago. Like, I would have had $600 tied up in an unproven, unknown product for 6 weeks prior to even getting my hands on it. And it just seemed to me like at this point in my investing, at this point in my Pokemon collecting career, it just wasn't the right move for me. So I didn't pull the trigger. The other thing that I just kept thinking about, and we're going to talk a ton about on this video, is Poke assets appreciate or depreciate based on demand and supply. We've seen that during the pandemic, right? Supply was low, demand was high, prices were through the roof. We were able to buy Sword and Shield booster boxes not long ago for $85 a piece, right? Why? Supply was there, demand was low. That's how these markets work. I don't know what Scarlet and Violet's going to look like. I have some thoughts, and that is the real premise of this whole video. The thing to call out too, though, and I didn't want to not mention this, is there are some huge changes going on in Scarlet and Violet. I already talked about the MSRP price increase. They're changing the borders from yellow to silver. Like, the packs are going to be different, okay? Like, the packs are going to have 3 foil cards. Even the ETBs are going to be a little different, right? Everything is fundamentally changing. Just one of those changes is big. All of them happening at once is huge. I have no idea what that's going to do. I don't know what it's going to do. I have some thoughts. So let's talk about what we do know for sure, because you know I'm all about playing chess while everybody else is playing checkers. And the way we do that is we gather facts, we think about them, we talk about them, and we analyze them. So what do we know for sure? Sword and Shield is coming to an end, period. End of discussion, right? There have been no reprints for months. I'm going to tell you right now, if I see one more YouTube thumbnail with somebody with an Evolving Skies boosting box and the word reprint on it because they're using clickbait, I'm going to lose my mind. It just infuriates me, right? There haven't been restocks. Now, there haven't been reprints. There has been a couple small restocks. There is a fundamental difference between a reprint and a restock. I'm going to talk in a little bit about what I think Sword and Shield products are doing and where they are right now. But I will tell you this, maybe you're like me. Every single morning at 7:30 a.m., I'm on Pokemon Center and I'm hitting the refresh button. You know why? Because I'm trying to see if those Evolving Skies booster boxes are going to come back in. Maybe you guys have found them, but ever since that first time they came out, that little blip on the radar and they sold out immediately, I sure haven't been able to get them. So yes, there have been some small restocks, but there has been no major reprints over the last 3 months, period. We know the borders are changing. Already talked about that. Cool. MSRP price is increasing. Already talked about that. Cool. 3 foil cards per booster pack, and all rare cards from now on are going to be foil. So anything with a rarity of rare or higher is going to be foil. I do think that's pretty cool. That's great. This is the first set in a new series. Historically, early sets in a new series don't perform well. I looked at Sun and Moon because Sword and Shield still, Crown Zenith is still dripping into the market. Silver Tempest is really new. We still have a lot of new sets that we need to bake out a little bit more. So I looked at Sun and Moon. And Sun and Moon, the original set, it's the second lowest booster box price. It's tied for the lowest chase card, and what I define as the chase card is the highest price card in that set. So that and Crimson Invasion, right? Both of them have the lowest chase cards out of all the Sun and Moon sets. When I look at Japan's Scarlet EX and Violet EX, there's no Charizards in them. Okay, Crimson Invasion, Sun and Moon have no Charizard, so I'm starting to see some commonalities between the early sets from Sun and Moon and the early sets here in Scarlet and Violet. So we'll have to see how that all plays out, but these are things that we know for sure. What don't we know? Just as important as what we do know. Are there going to be Sword and Shield reprints? I'm going to tell you right now, I don't know. I don't care. I don't lose any sleep wondering if that Evolving Skies booster box that I bought for $300 is going to go down in price in the short term because there's going to be some magic Evolving Skies reprint. Number one, I don't think it's going to happen. Number two, even if it does, what's the difference? Like, is it going to drop down temporarily and then shoot right back up? Is it the difference between it being worth $500 or $600 or $700 in the next 5 years? I don't know. I don't have a crystal ball. I don't have the answers to that. But I'm going to tell you right now, I don't care if there is reprints. I think that the Sword and Shield series was just absolute fire. I think it is a rocket ship, and I don't think reprints can derail it, if maybe temporarily, but I think it would just bounce right back. How much supply of Scarlet and Violet is there going to be? I don't know. I will tell you this. With no Sword and Shield reprints, if you think that those printing presses have just been sitting there silent, you're absolutely insane. Those printing presses have been working overtime. What have they been printing? I don't know. Nobody else knows either except the executives at the Pokemon Company, but I'm going to tell you right now, they've been printing something. How much demand is there going to be for Scarlet and Violet? Same thing, I don't know. We talked about some really exciting changes. Like whenever you have this many changes in a set, it drives some excitement. Like there's people talking about it, right? So there might be a ton of demand. Do the pack contents and border colors have any effect on the market and collectability? I'm going to tell you right now, I don't care. I could care less. It has no effect on the PikiPikaPapa's desire for Scarlet and Violet sets. Is Sun and Moon the right thing to compare it to, right? Like Sword and Shield isn't doing bad. Sword and Shield base set booster boxes, those are doing pretty darn good. XY booster boxes, that's a 9-year-old booster box that's going for $1,000. Now imagine if you were able to buy XY booster boxes for $100 each, and then here 9 years later they're going for over $1,000 each. You would do that all day, every day, twice on Sunday, 100 times over, no doubt. Like it's crazy. So who knows? Who knows if that's what Scarlet and Violet is going to do, because there's precedence for it doing okay. Sealed product is on fire right now. I've been talking about that. Is it going to continue? Is it going to be a bull market? How long is the bull market in Pokemon sealed product going to continue for? I don't know. Could be a week, could be a month, could be 10 years, could be 100 years, could never end. I don't know, but I'm just going to tell you right now, it is on fire. I don't know if it's going to continue. I feel like the momentum's there, but we're just going to have to wait and see. Here's my thoughts. My position on the Sword and Shield supply remains exactly the same as it was a month and a half or 2 months ago. Can't remember the date that I did that video, but I did a video on Evolving Skies and the reprints and the talk around Sword and Shield, and my whole premise was this. All of the Sword and Shield product that is ever going to be printed has already been printed. That doesn't mean that there's not booster box upon booster box upon booster box sitting in warehouses somewhere, because I'm sure there is, because it's not like Sword and Shield is suddenly going to stop being trickled into the market. Like those packs are going to be in all kinds of premium collection boxes. It's going to be in all kinds of sets. Like the packs are going to be coming out. I'm sure there's going to be more booster boxes that are going to trickle out as well. But I'm telling you right now, I don't think that there is any more being printed. I think that they had to shut the machines down. I think they had to change the colors from yellow to silver on those borders, which I don't think is trivial. Some people said it was just like changing ink. It's not. There's no way. You have to change it. You have to QC it. I bet there's a huge process involved in it. And I think that they printed all of the Sword and Shield they were ever going to print. And I think they have just been cranking Scarlet and Violet product ever since. Do I think there's going to be demand for Scarlet and Violet? Of course. It's a new set. But I will tell you right now, all the YouTube channels that I watch, all of the buzz, all of the feel, it just doesn't feel that crazy. Crown Zenith? Before Crown Zenith came out, everybody was hyped. Everybody was talking about it. They were talking about how this could be the greatest set in the whole Sword and Shield era, and that was prior to it being launched. I ordered a sealed case of ETBs. I ordered a sealed case of Pokemon Center exclusive ETBs. As it got closer to launch date, I ordered another sealed case of Pokemon Center Elite Trainer boxes. Like, I just felt this product was going to be huge. the market isn't feeling it, or at least it isn't reacting as if this is going to be a huge product, right? And we talked about supply and we talked about demand. I've talked about how I don't personally care about the changes. I don't think the changes are enough to drive the market. I don't think the changes are enough to justify all of these huge MSRP price increases, which means that the market is going to demand it to come back down to a normal booster box price, because at the end of the day, the Pokemon Center isn't the one who sets the prices. They set MSRP, we're the ones who set the prices. We're the ones who pull the trigger, we're the ones who spend the money, we're the ones who set the prices at the end of the day, right? I'm going to tell you right now, I think the supply is going to be through the frickin' roof. I think Pokemon on purpose has been slow playing launching new products, has been slow. I think that's why they trickled out Crown Zenith. I think they were just slowly dripping into the market. I think that they haven't done any reprints. I think they haven't done any big restocks because they're trying to build some pent-up excitement, some pent-up desire for sealed product. That way when Scarlet and Violet drops with that higher MSRP, people are just going to snap it up and buy it. But I think they want to make sure every person on every corner of the globe who wants Scarlet and Violet is going to be able to get it and be able to get it fast. So I think supply is going to be through the frickin' roof. Therefore, my big thought is there is going to be more buying opportunities in the Scarlet and Violet space for the foreseeable future than there will be in the Sword and Shield space. And that's why I'm continuing to invest my money in the Sword and Shield space. What do I mean by that? An example would be, let's say Scarlet and Violet drops at $125 a booster box. Who knows? Let's just say it's at $125 a booster box. I think there's a better chance that 12 months from that drop date, you will be able to buy a Scarlet and Violet booster box for $125 still than, say, Brilliant Stars, which right now you can buy for $145 at the Pokemon Center. I think there's no way on God's green earth 12 months from now you're still going to be able to buy it for $145 anywhere. I don't. I think you are going to have plenty of time to pull the trigger on Scarlet and Violet. I think if you want a sealed booster box, I don't think there's going to be any shortage of supply. I think you're going to be able to get it. I think you're going to be able to get it at a great price. If it was me, I would be putting my money in Sword and Shield or older cards to get graded. We talked about some of these full art trainer cards. I just think they're absolute fire. That's where I'm putting my money right now. And again, listen, I compared it to Sun and Moon. I don't know if that's the right model. We shall see, but that's my thoughts, and that's what I'm doing, okay? So here's what I've told you. I have purchased some Scarlet and Violet product. I'm not gonna completely sit on the sidelines, right? I shared with you very early on, I pre-ordered 2 Pokemon Center exclusive Elite Trainer boxes in red and 2 in purple. And I did that for a reason. I feel like they're going to be more exclusive. I think booster boxes are going to be everywhere, but I feel like the Pokemon Center Elite Trainer boxes are going to be a little more exclusive. I feel like there's more liquidity in them. I feel like if they go really, really high really quickly, I can sell 2 off and I can still keep 2 in my personal collection, or I have no problem holding on to 4 of them for the long run. But I do want a little exposure, and I think that's the best way for me to do it, so I don't feel like, because then if it pops off, I won't feel like I missed the boat. Like, I'll feel like I have great products, I have a little bit of money invested, but I certainly didn't have to invest the full $600 to hold 6 booster boxes, and then I really got a whole lot of capital, tied up in that single product. I am, as I said several times throughout this video, I'm investing in other PokeProcit products that I think have a more limited short-term buying horizon. Sword and Shield booster boxes, I think Chilling Reign, I think Brilliant Stars, I think Evolving Skies is still at a buy. Silver Tempest, I think Silver Tempest is going to be a short print in the long run. I don't think there's a ton of that's going to be coming out. And then you guys know I am doing singles to grade. I have a great video coming out on Friday. I have a ton of cool singles that have come in. I'm going to show them to you. We're going to get them ready. We're going to send them out to PSA. I'm really excited for that video. And then I haven't talked about this at all, but I'm slowly building a war chest for Pokemon 151 and for, I don't know if you guys saw this on Poke Beach, but at the end of the year, there's this Pokemon trading card game classic box set that's coming out. It's dropping in Japan in October, and it's dropping later in the year in the US. I am putting $5, $10, $15, $20 a week into a little fund. That way, when these products come out, if I have the same excitement for them that I had for Crown Zenith, I will be able to buy multiple cases of Elite Trainer boxes, or multiple booster boxes, or multiple of these classic box sets, whatever they are, without taking away from some of the other things that I want to do at the same time. So when Crown Zenith came out, I had to lay out a lot of money. Now I'm putting a little bit aside every single month, because I think that these 2 sets, or this set and this sealed product, I think have the opportunity to be really big, and I want to have the opportunity to purchase them without hindering some of my other activities when they eventually come out. So I'm thinking a little bit ahead. And then I am going to set a buying threshold for Scarlet and Violet. I don't know what that number is. It's not $100, because I had the opportunity to buy it at $100. But if the booster boxes hit a certain price, at what price am I going to be willing to pull the trigger? Is it $95? Is it $90? Is it $100? Or is it $80? I don't know. But with every collectible, if you're a collector, like all of us are, there's a certain price point where you're going to pull the trigger. Take a 1977 Luke Skywalker PSA 6. Let's say it's worth $1,000, right? Somebody might come to me and say, hey Ryan, I will sell you this Luke Skywalker for $950. And I'm gonna look at them and say, I don't want it. They're gonna be like, why? It's worth $1,000. I'll sell it to you for $950. Well, it's not worth it to me. I don't care about Luke Skywalker. That's not what I collect. I'm not into it. And then they might say, well, what about $900? I'm gonna say no. We'll say, well, what about $800? I'm probably still gonna say no. They're gonna say, what about $750? The point of this exercise is they will eventually reach a number where I am going to say yes. Is it $650? Is it $500? Is it $400? At the end of the day, they will reach a number where I'm gonna be like, well, yeah, it's worth $1,000. Of course I'm gonna buy into it. Like, I think there's so much upside potential. There's so much built-in value that I'm gonna pull the trigger on it. There's the same thing with all of these Pokemon. I think if you can buy any Pokemon sealed booster box for $80, $85, you should pull the trigger all day long. Like, I think there is nothing but upside there. So maybe that's the number that I'm gonna set for this, but I am gonna have a number in mind and I am gonna be prepared to pull the trigger if it gets down that low. I hope it doesn't. I really don't. Like, I want to see this be a slam dunk for the Pokemon Company. I want to see this be a slam dunk for all of the card shops out there. Like, I hope that it's a fair price. I hope that it's a price where everybody can make some money. Collectors feel good, sellers feel good. But I just don't know, and I'm not putting a ton of money into it right now, and I hope all of these reasons make sense. And again, I said this in the beginning, I'm going to say it again. This is your decision. If you think Scarlet and Violet is the next great set, buy it out. Do whatever you want. You know, I don't know. If you buy some, I hope I'm wrong. We shall see. But at the end of the day, as always, collect what makes you guys happy. And please, if you've been watching and you enjoy this channel, I'd love it if you would join this community. This is the most amazing community I've ever been a part of. Hit that subscribe button, give us a thumbs up, drop a comment down below. I can't wait for these weekend videos. We have some super cool stuff to look at. I appreciate you guys, and y'all have an epic one. Thank you now.